With the use of punch baits becoming more and more popular on the match fishing scene, we at Tackle Guru have come up with a nice little product called the punch box. This punch box integrates your bait and your punches all in one system. The first feature on the punch box I'd like to point out is the sliding lid. The sliding lid's designed to be able to be used with one hand, so you can literally slide the lid open, punch your bait and then slide the lid back, nice and simple. A lot of thought has gone into the design of the lid of the punch box, obviously to keep the bait in A1 condition. So when it's raining, obviously the lid will protect it from rain and your bread from getting soaking wet, and obviously the tinted lid will protect from sunlight and your bait from drying out. When the lid is opened, it catches at a point just to expose where your hook bait sits. But if you actually pull the lid totally off, you'll notice it exposes 4 bait punches. The punches integrated in the system, you've got a 6, an 8, a 10 and a 12mm one, which will cover most of the sort of sizes you'll need for punching baits such as bread, meat or boilies. The punches simply just click out of the system, and what you'll notice is a nice compact punch with a little bit of a difference. Basically these are called push punches. They've got a plunger system on, so basically what happens is when you push the punch into the bait, the plunger will come up and you can just release your bait nice and easily by pressing it down. You'll also notice on this end you've got a very, very sharp edge, and the idea is that you can punch harder baits such as boilies, hard bits of meat, pepperami, things like that. So you get a really nice clean cut with the punch. So there you go. The unique punch box system will be available from all Good Guru stockists this Christmas. Punch bread is a great bait in the winter months when you're targeting big fish on commercials. I like to use sort of like a 10 or 12mm punch, and I'm punching several pieces of flattened bread out. So what I'm doing is at home I'm prepping my bread, I'm rolling pinning it and putting it in the microwave for 10 seconds. It just compacts all the bread, and then what I like to do is give it 5 or 6 punches. So I'll get 5 or 6 discs which you can put on a hair, and then what I like to do is just fish a single lead and chuck to the area I think the fish are. And what happens is obviously the bread will sink quite slowly to start with, but also it will expand as time goes on. So you've got a great big hook bait on show on the bottom, which is easy for the fish to take and is great for big fish.
One of my favourite baits in the colder months is punched meat, and the way I like to prepare it is follows. All I do, take a slice of meat, put it in my punch tray. Obviously that keeps it nice and fresh, stops it drying out. Then the size of punch, you can carry whatever you want. I think 10mm is a great size, targeting fish, carp, 3 to 8 pound in general. 10mm is a good size. All I'll do, punch the meat like so, and I can fish a little bit like that on a hair, on the straight lead, on the hybrid feeder or even the method. But I like to give my hook baits a little bit of a boost, make them stand out from the crowd. So all I'll do, punch out multiple hook baits, drop them in the tub like so, and I'll just give them a squirt of goo. What goo you use is entirely up to you. Pineapple served me well over the years. Got the bait smoke, just a little squirt, shake it all about, and just making my meat stand out from the crowd. A lot of people fish punch meat, but not a lot of people go into sort of flavouring and colouring it, and the goo does both. And this is a particularly effective tactic when the water's coloured. Meat's got a strong smell anyway, but a little bit of pineapple goo gives off a cloud, a bit of extra flavour, and it's a bait that no carp can resist.
One of the more underused bait punch tactics is to punch out a big boilie to make yourself a nice little hook bait. I'm talking about getting a big 12 to 18mm boilie and using your 6, 8 or 10 or even a 12mm punch to make just a nice little barrel hook bait. Now we all use quite a few boilies in our fishing, like as in crushing them up, putting them in a PVA bag or a hybrid or method feeder. It's a really underused tactic, but one that can catch a lot of fish.